We're here with the homie Chappy, the day in the life. You know, Big Ant and I had a pleasure of coming out here to AZ to hang out with the homie, you know, in honor of Fresh Out. And this guy haven't done an interview with us before. We want to see how he's living, man. And this dude is living. I want to know, how has working out affected your life, and what has it done for you as far as, you know, mentally and physically, and just overall just your balance?
Man, working out saved my life. I could say that, you know, because a lot of times in prison, I developed it just in prison. You know, like I said, I was 6 foot, 144 pounds, and I got locked up, you know, and when you're in there, they have mandatory workouts, so I had to work out, you know. And then once you start seeing results, and I always tell people too now when they're working out too, you got to just fight through the time where you don't see the results. But once you see results, I have an addictive mind, you know, you can get addicted to seeing results. But it's so it started out just them pushing on me. I had to work out, you know, and didn't like it at first. And over the years, you develop a passion for it. And then I realized too that whenever I was mad or whenever something bad would happen on the yard or something like that, then all I want to do is go work out, you know, and you take it out on working out instead of doing something bad, you know. And to this day, it's the same thing. If I have a shitty day at work, and especially now that I got the home gym here, if I have a shitty day at work, it doesn't matter if I come home at 10:30 at night and I have a shitty ass day at work, I'm coming straight to my gym and I'm just going to work it out instead of doing something stupid, or instead of getting the case of the fuckets, which I used to always get, which would always tend to continuously ruin my life because you make some stupid decisions over just having a bad temper, you know. Gym not only saved my life, and it helps me so much with daily meditation, just getting my thoughts together for the day, because, you know, we talked about, that's my routine now. You know, I get up in the morning, go to a meeting, come back out here, get my workout on, 2-3 hours, man. It's just me and my music, and I visualize the thoughts for the day, and I think about what each goal is for that day and what I need to do to put the work in to get there. And I'm not joking. It's a daily thought, because if you gotta set realistic goals for yourself out there, and if you gotta put actual thoughts into them every day to see how much closer you are towards reaching your goals. Because people always ask me, like, they ask me to this day what the secrets to success are, and I'm like, I don't have no fucking secrets. I put hard ass work in, you know, and I put goals in front of myself that usually when I tell them what my goals are, they roll their eyes or they laugh, and when they do that, I know I'm onto something.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I just say, watch me do it, you know.
Yeah.
And so you gotta set realistic goals, and that's how I do it. I told you I'm a big firm believer that meditation is helpful. I don't meditate. The gym I use as meditation, you know. It's just such a good time to get my mind right for the day, you know. And I come out here and get a good workout in, relieve a lot of tension and stress, and start my day, you know.
And so when you were in prison, did they have ways to do the more calisthenics or?
No, push-ups and pull-ups, man. So remember, by the first time I got out and went to an actual home gym, or a gym, that was the first time I'd ever been to a gym in my life, you know. I'm 255 pounds, and I've never even lifted a weight in my life, and like I was scared and nervous too, because I didn't know what it was. I thought people were like judging me or looking at me. You know, I'm covered in prison tattoos, and I don't even know how much I can bench press or anything, you know. But you just adapt, you know. And if you're not putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, you're never gonna fucking grow. You know what I mean? If you're steadily being in the same mindset every day, and you're comfortable with your life and you're cool with it, have at it. I don't got no time for that shit. You know, I'm on some other stuff. I try to just better myself daily and surround myself with people that better themselves daily too. And you know, the gym is where not only is it a good like meditation type thing for me too, but you can meet a ton of cool, good connections at the gym also. You know, I told you I'm a firm believer in networking. You know, it's especially out here with a past like me and you, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So
right.
I don't care if it's at my office, I'm networking, if it's on the golf course or at the gym, you know what I mean? I'm networking nonstop. That's what I do with my life. My buddies used to clown me because they said I would pull dudes at the gym, and I would, you know what I mean? But if it's someone like that I could tell was ambitious enough or had some success or something, and I'm new to this, I have no clue still, hell yeah, I would get dudes' phone numbers. You know, I pulled more dudes' phone numbers from the gym than I ever pulled chicks in my life, you know? But that was solely because I wanted to learn from them, and I wanted to get to where I am today, you know, and past this.
Well, it's crazy you said that, because I met Big Ant at the gym. You know, we were both training in Universal LA Fitness, man. And I used to catch the bus from South Central Halfway House all the way out there, because I don't want to work out in the hood. And I would bring my little gym bag, you know, bring my stuff, shower at the gym, you know, do my thing. And my hustle was, I would see somebody working out, and if they had bad form, I was like, hey, man, you need to do it like this, do this and do that. And they're like, are you a trainer? I'm like, Nah, but here's my card. Holler. I was hustling. You know what I mean? But dude, I had no job, no nothing, but I was hustling. So I met people, and that's how I started putting my game down.
Yeah.
But like you said, you have to be, you have to be assertive, and it's like being in shape and working out and meeting people. It's like it's opportunity to network, and you never know who you're gonna bump into, man. But the gym, it's always been something that's been a staple for me, and it keeps me mentally kind of cleansed, because it's like a decompression.
Absolutely.
For me, because I feel like all the energy I attract during the day, whether it's good or bad, when I work out like you, I put the music on, I work out, my body releases it, and I go shower and I feel good. You know what I mean? So it's really been a game changer for me too, man. And I can see for you with all this stuff around here, man, how it keeps you balanced, and it's allowed you to take your whole package to this, to another level. And not only is it just about the gym, but I know, we're gonna get into it and some other stuff in this whole little document about like how mentally you have other things that you compiled with this to put together the ultimate pie per se, because this is just one element. I know you have other things that, complete you as a person, and that allows you to kind of keep going forward in what you're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I got the gym does it for me, golf a lot. I try to just read a lot too and learn stuff too, because I know, which is another thing that I talk about, having no excuses. I'm the first to admit I'm not even close to being the smartest person hurt. It's not even somewhat. I always say I got street smarts for days, zero book smarts, you know what I mean? And just shows even more of it, why excuses don't mean anything, I had no chance either. I'm not even the smartest person at all. I screw up shit on a daily basis with simple math in my job, and I do finance, you know what I'm saying? But I'm able to get it right, and I keep overcoming stuff. Seriously. And it's a daily battle with me too, seriously. And sometimes I gotta multiply 3 by 12 or something. It's the easiest stuff ever. But I double check all my own stuff, and I know that if I'm not the smartest person, I gotta out hustle in other aspects of life too, and I can still do my job the way it is, you know what I mean?
What's been one of your biggest inspirations, man? I know people have various people that motivate them, whether it's athletes or business people or parents. Man, who's been some of your biggest motivations?
Man, motivation, dude.
Influences.
You motivated me at first too, because I'm serious, man. I didn't know people could even do stuff with this or help people being from prison too, because I was a little nervous. Even when I started making money, I didn't think that anybody even wanted to hear what we had to say. You know what I mean? I had no clue that. I was still a little apprehensive about telling people that I had been in prison. I didn't like it, you know what I mean? Motivated me was like some of my other buddies, man, that just that I follow now. The people that I'm motivated by are just dudes that I happen to follow on Instagram that I see, because I follow them the whole time, and I see they put in the work every day, and I see that they talk the talk and walk the walk, and that's where I learned a lot of my stuff from. The drawing boards. It's some dudes I follow on Instagram. They talk about having their drawing boards. You got to write your goals on there. So I heard it. I think the guy that actually did that one was John Bowles, and he's just another successful little entrepreneur, hustler dude that I follow, and I learned that from him. And he's if you're not setting your goals down there and keeping a daily log about it, then what are you doing? So I had to learn a lot of stuff from just random people on Instagram, as crazy enough as that is.
There's a lot of people. Well, as far as like my goals have always been bigger than everybody else around me, so I've always had to look outside, the box for answers. But I remember being in the gym one night, and they had a documentary on a guy on ESPN. I don't think it was 30 for 30, but it was a story about this kid. I don't know if you ever seen it. A black kid, no arms, but he's driving a car, bro, and he's an engineer for NASCAR for suspension parts. You seen that kid?
No, but I love
that. Dude, he's driving the car with his feet. He has a 64 Impala. He's rolling. He has no arms, bro. This kid, and he's doing. He gets to work driving with his feet, bro. Then he gets there and he's got AutoCAD and he's doing like these engineering diagrams for parts and stuff. I'm like, dude, what am I? That's ridiculous. That's insane, bro. That's like this dude, man. I mean, you can look up the story. I'll try to find a link and put it in the description. But when I seen that, I'm like, Lord, what? That's
just like now you're having no excuses. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
He giving up too, just like me. They asked
he
me
was
what
born.
I did.
His mom is like, he never is all chastised little dude. What is he gonna do?
Yeah.
You have no. I mean, I can't remember. No, he had no arms. He just with his feet. I remember he was driving, shifting with his feet, man, and he was doing something with his chin bound. I'm like, this is incredible, man. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And so for you out there thinking like, oh man, dude,
I got it bad.
Oh my God.
I got it bad.
No excuse.
Look to the next person. You could always every person on earth could have it worse. You know what I'm saying? No matter who's feeling lonely or something like that. Just look at the next person. It's that easy to see. You could always have it worse. You know what I mean? You guys are locked down. Look at this.
Fuck. It's like normal.
Literally.
So Chappy, man, we out here at Papago Golf Course, hot as hell, but we're in the shade, and I'm enjoying the nice scenery, man. People out here look like they're doing their thing. How'd you get into golf, man? I mean, I've seen it on TV, and I'm familiar with Jack Nicholson, Arnold Palmer, Tiger Woods, a few others, but I never had the opportunity to really get into it, man. I wish I would have, but maybe you can tell us, like, how'd you get into golf, man? What took you down this path?
So I got into golf a little bit before I went in, but nothing too crazy, because we didn't have really money like that, because I'd played a few times, and then before I got out, my brother started a little online golf business. So I remember we were talking about golf a lot, before I got out, and then when I first got out, we golfed first 8 days out, we golfed 7 days, and just replaced that addiction. Like we always talk about, you gotta find something else to interchange your addiction with. All the stuff that I was spending, all the time I was putting bad energy into stuff, you have to find something to do with that time, because when you're freshly sober, you'll notice that you have a lot of free time on your hands, and that's where people get into making bad decisions, when they have a lot of free time on their hands, when they're not thinking about what they want to do with their life, or they're not thinking about the next move. You can't live life on the fly. You gotta, every move of mine is calculated. Like I said, we talked about earlier, I make a daily progress check on my goals, and you have to do that if you want to be successful, and golfing is just such a great outlet for me too, and something I treat myself to, and golf and cars is my two things,
And what kind of people do you typically meet on a golf course? I mean, sitting here is just relaxing, bro. I'm just chilling. I could probably take a nice little dip in that little pond over here after this, but it seems like everybody's just on a different page.
You can meet people that could change your life on the golf course.
I can only imagine.
I always say it's not what you know, it's who you know, and my dad taught me that when I was younger, and the connections you can meet on the golf course can, like I said, change your life, especially for someone with a past like me or you have. When it first got started, I didn't have too many options. I didn't have too many people that would have my back, and I didn't have anybody that I could network with, really, until I started building up my pool and, giving out my card to people and talking to random dudes, and I talk to random guys at grocery stores to this day, I'm a pretty good judge of character, and I can pretty much see what people are doing from what they look like, or what kind of car they have, or how their mannerisms are at the grocery store, something like that. So I can see if it's someone I want to talk to. And I hand out my cards and exchange information with people at a grocery store in line waiting for groceries, pulling dudes' phone numbers. It's not about people. Another thing too, a lot of people I feel like are always scared to ask for that, or embarrassed to be judged by somebody, or would be embarrassed to ask a dude for his phone number if you don't know this dude. But why not? And if anybody's about to help you out with anything, or they're down to network themselves too, most people are flattered and like the hustle of you taking the initiative too and asking them for the number. And it makes them feel good too. They have somebody that wants, or that there's somebody out there that wants what they got going. You know what I mean?
I think it's a lot of pride. A lot of people have too much pride, and they think that they're belittling themselves by asking somebody for, help or contacts or something like that. And I say, man, what do you have to lose? I mean, we've already been down the darkest path, so why not take a chance on a path that can be possibly more enlightening?
Yeah, just like a small example of that, like you said, it's already a no if you don't do anything anyways.
Exactly.
When I was buying the house that we're at right now, they took somebody else's offer on my house. My realtor told me that. So what did I do? I went and knocked on the door the next day, begged the lady to sell me the house, and everybody told me I shouldn't do it. You know why? Because it's not the right thing to do, and nobody else will do that. But what do I say? I don't have the fucking house anyways. Why not go ask her to sell me the fucking house? And that's the only reason that I got that house that we're in to this day, was because I went back against what everybody else said, because people aren't used to doing what's out of the norm.
Exactly,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? But I'm not used to doing what's in the norm. You know what I mean?
You're
That's what
right,
makes me successful. I'm not scared to take that chance. I'm not scared to walk up to a random person and talk to them. It's all about, life is about taking chances. If you're not taking chances, you're just cruising by life, and you're never going to make anything of yourself.
No, that makes perfectly good sense, man. I mean, I was telling somebody, just like, changing your daily habits, or just investing in what appears to be like leisure time, but it's actually valuable connections. Coming out here, during the week, like you said, if you're here on a weekday golfing, dude, you're pretty set. You're not really worried about anything. So, typically the type of person you see during the week like that is a power player and it's somebody you want to rub elbows with.
Absolutely. Someone that makes their own damn schedule so they can take off on a Tuesday afternoon and go golf if
Exactly.
they want to golf on a Tuesday afternoon, which is what I aspire to be. So why would I not try and associate with nothing but those people?
So explain a little bit, like, to those out there about the game. I mean, what is it like? Okay, what is a round of golf?
Okay, so a round of golf is going to take 4 hours. 4.5 hours, but some people drink with it, some people don't. I like to just go out and get exercise. It's the greatest thing we talked about last night. There's nothing like driving your car with the windows down and feeling the free air. It's the same thing with a golf cart.
And how many holes is that?
18 holes, 72 shots per par, which means you're supposed to take 70 to 72 shots per 18 holes.
And then when they go like, he's like a 5 under par, that means his overall score is under what typically that round consists of.
Yep, which means it should take you 72 shots through all 18 holes to get in the hole. And
if that's a perfect.
Yep, and if he scored 500, that means he shot it in 67.
Okay,
strokes,
I got you. Okay.
Which I've never been anywhere close to that. But golf's the only thing that golf is the only sport, I always say this, if you think about it, golf is the only sport that you could suck at that everybody will still play. Because think about it, if you're not good at basketball, you don't play basketball. If you're not good at baseball, you don't play baseball. You can suck at golf and you still play golf and still have fun.
And what are the typical costs, like say for a place like this, and then let's say Pebble Beach?
Yeah, so it's all different. This place in the summertime, you get courses that are $20 in the summertime. Whereas to Pebble Beach, when we played that, it was $550 a person, per person.
For a round?
For one round of golf.
Yeah, I've been to Pebble Beach. I haven't golfed there, but I go to car shows there every year, and it's dude, you see the money there, and them people, dude, they're on a whole other level.
And that's why a lot of people say that too. Golf's too expensive, and you just don't play the expensive courses. Then you can play your $20 courses out here in the summertime, or you could go up and play True North and stuff. And that's the summertime is still $100 a person. In the wintertime, True North's $280, $300 a round.
Wow. So that's another thing too, that you just kind of shed some light on the misperception, because I always thought, like, damn, even just going to golf, man, what does it cost you? But like you said, $20, that's, man, you can go out and have a good time.
That's your lunch.
Walk, it's like it's not all that.
And anybody that would say that would 100% spend $20 at least on a bar tab during that month.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They'll go spend $80, $100 at a bar and don't think twice about it. But if it's golf, that's too expensive,
So what's been your best round when you played out here? Have you had a game where you really kind of, or you...
I lost to my brother by one. That's the closest I've came to beating my little brother, which is my best round. I've scored better, but that was for sure my best round I've played. I still have not to this day beat my little brother, and I've lost him by one twice, and that's as close as I've been. But that's for sure my best round. And that was at a private course up in North Scottsdale. You want to talk about just networking with people? So getting in the golf world, I collect a lot of Scotty Cameron stuff now, which is it's a big, huge golf brand that's very, very collectible and sought after.
Okay.
Probably the most collectible golf stuff around. And through that, they do these tournaments, which is like the Scotty Cameron Open. So you meet all these Scotty collectors from all over the country and all over the world. Like we had people that flew out there from Australia to play in this tournament with us. And then you meet all these guys and then you exchange their informations. And then one of these guys is a member out here at one of the private courses up in North Scottsdale. So then when he comes out here and stays at his place up there, I go golf with him there and we hang out. He just came down and worked out at my gym a month ago. But like I said, it's all about meeting connections and networking with people, So I met these dudes that I should normally have no chance of ever even speaking with, you know what I mean? And then they're my friends now, you know what I'm saying? And we have each other's phone numbers and I can rely on them for something too. And it's people that you would never think that I would have a chance of even associating with, let alone have like their number on speed dial now.
See, that's what's so cool, because like, how you use golf as kind of like a social equalizer. That's kind of like what I do with cars, because like, dudes don't have to know nothing about, damn, this guy did a decade in prison, but hey, man, you're into this. Oh, what kind of engine? What you got on this? How well, and it kind of
you forget about the differences.
You forget about the differences and a whole nother dialogue, and then they might not find out till you're, man, I never knew that. Wow, bro. But by then they already seen you as a person. Because that's the whole thing, is seeing yourself as a person first, And this is something you can do. A lot of you guys ask me about hobbies. Dude, golf, you don't have to, it's just, anybody can play. Like Peter said, Peter said, or Chappy said, just get out here, swing, meet people, and, clear your mind.
You never played. I told you we're going to go hit some balls after this. There's no harm, no foul. Like I told you, you can suck at golf and still have fun. I mean, watch me hit some balls. It's a relaxing thing. There's not really too much that compares to it, too. And, being older, you can't really play sports like it. I mean, you're older than me. I'm 35 and I still can't play basketball. Like my knees are broke down from all that.
I'm 47. I'm not trying to dunk the ball.
That's what I'm saying. From all the cocky basketball played from prison, there's not too many sports you can get. You still get your athleticism going, and so you can still be competitive. There's nothing great. Anybody that's thinks they can't golf or can't afford golf or whatever, just don't knock it till you try. You know what I mean? Go out and hit some clubs on the driving range. You know, I got a bunch of my sales guys now that all golf and have never golfed before. And when I
You got them all out here going?
Yeah, and I talked to them about it before. They said, "Oh, I don't know how to golf. I couldn't do that."
You guys ever put any friendly wagers on any of the?
Absolutely. A lot of times we just play for $20 a round. So it's just to give you something to compete with, you know, and then you only lose $20 on top of your round if you win, or you win $20. You know, that's what we usually do. Just friendly competition.
That's dope, man. I mean, hey, I'm looking forward to going out here and hitting a few balls and you know, having some fun, man. So, Chappy, what's the purpose of this little thing? What is this?
That's a golf tee.
Okay.
That's what you put on underneath the ball to tee your ball up in the air so it gets a little more ball flight.
Okay, so do you only use this when you're teeing off, or do you use it when you're putting? You don't use it, right?
Yeah, not when you're putting, just when you're hitting a golf ball. So with the irons, you're going to want to tee it up lower. With the driver, you'd have it right about there. With the irons, you're going to tee it up lower so it just barely sits off the ground like this, right?
Okay. So now, how are you supposed to hold? You hold it like this?
Nope. Hold your hands. Just set your hands just like this.
Like that?
One on top of each other, and then just lace your thumbs over, just like that.
Like that? Am I doing right?
Yep. And interlock these bottom fingers.
Like that?
Just like that. Yep. And then when you take it back, you're just going to take it straight back like this, and straight forward like that. Nice.
It feels funny with your fingers like that, though.
Yeah, it's supposed to feel funny. That's how you know you got the right grip. That's what I say in golfing. That's how you know you got the right grip, is when it feels funny. So keep your elbows locked like this, straight. Bring it straight back like this.
Like that?
Yep. And then down through. Let me give you an example first real quick. I'll show you an example how you want to do this. It'll put me on the spot now too.
Oh, shit.
And the one thing about golf is too is it's not about strength. That's what I still learn on a daily basis. You're just nice and easy, smooth swing. Tee you up again right here.
Kind of awkward.
Yeah,
it's different.
You want to just be loose. Like you're too uptight. You tell it's because your damn muscles, but just like loosen up, man. You want to get a lot of it when you're twisting your hips, so just your arms should be more straight.
Oh, so your arms are kind of locked.
Yes, you're getting most of it just like a baseball swing when you squish the bug.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I come down, what am I looking at? What am I looking at?
When you're going back, you're looking back like this. Keep your head down on the ball the whole time, and then even through. So through your swing, you're going to still be looking at the ground.
Oh,
I'll watch your ball for you.
Stay looking at the ball.
On the ground. Just like that. Yep.
Okay.
Nice and easy through it. Practice point.
Is it hips like that?
Yep. Twisting your hips, and then you're going to turn your hips through like you're squishing the bug in baseball. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Got off the ground.
I tore the dirt.
You're supposed to.
You try you.
You're supposed to. Keep your head down.
Okay.
Your head up.
That shit's harder than it looks.
It is harder than it looks.
That shit's a lot harder than it looks, man.
You gotta start somewhere, though. You know. There's the other flag over there.
Damn.
See?
Yeah, Big Ant, that ain't no joke, man.
So one more. Another short left one right here.
Damn. So by twisting your hips, you're redirecting to whatever direction you want.
Absolutely. And so when you're doing your golf swing too, you want to go back like this, and then your hips should be turning first, and your hands will follow after. So you're turning your hips and then going through like that.
Wow. Let me try one more time. Oh, a little bit higher.
keep this arm, your left arm locked. Your left arm should be with the club like this. And this arm just for a brace, and you don't use this one until you're pulling it through to twist over.
So my left hand may be lower than my right?
Your left one's up here. And the right down there.
Okay.
Interlock those fingers,
okay.
Just like that, yep. And then so when you bring it back, keep this elbow locked. You're twisting your hips there, and keep this elbow in, and then when you go through, now you're turning your hips and then going through.
Okay, I got you.
So now get one.
Damn!
That's
fucking crazy.
Ball, right?
I know you guys are gonna be clowning me with this shit.
That's all right, golf's not hard. You gotta start somewhere. There you go.
That's enough for today.
Let me get one more for good luck. You gotta figure, I started there too.
Yeah.
I played
I gotta come out here enough time.
That's it.
So typically like because I know the first drive's always the longest, right?
No, it just depends. But
on the course, or it just depends?
They're all different. So some will start off with a par 4, some are par 5s. It's all different.
Oh, okay. All right. So I always see them start with a drive, and then they go to the next hole, and then they're like...
So all your holes, your first drive's going to be usually a driver, and then your next shot will be an iron, just on a smaller approach shot, just to get it into the green.
Okay.
And then 2 putts is how you get a par.
And then the clubs with the bigger bottom, those are more for putting, right? Because they're weighted, are they balanced for a certain like?
It just depends. The bigger clubs are more forgiving ones. I only play PXG clubs. It's all I've played since I could afford PXGs. But,
okay.
So the PXGs are always more forgiving. That's why I like them.
Okay.
It takes me from being a not so good golfer into a decent golfer at least with the PXGs.
Okay. So I remember my grandpa had some golf clubs, but they were like the little bigger ones, kind of looked like they're wooding, and they kind of had the little numbers on them. Old school ones, yeah.
Now they're just getting smaller, more compact.
Okay. So they're just basically the same way, but it's old school where they had more of a thing on them.
Absolutely.
Okay.
See what you got out here, and you never golfed before. Anybody can do it.
Hey man, you got to try something new, man. It's a day in the life with Chappy, man. Yeah. So Chappy, man, you're doing big things out here, man. We're kicking it right now in a Porsche Panamera Turbo, man. How did you get into cars, bro? How did you get down this path where now you're into these cars and you're selling cars and you're just a car guy? How did all that come about?
So my love for cars came when I was younger. I was always into cars and jets. That was my thing. Top Gun was my favorite movie, and Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise. So I got into cars back then, got out and drove a truck that my dad gave me when I got out of prison for a year and a half, and then when I got my first paycheck after selling cars, I went and bought the K900, and then the cars worked out perfect for me too, because I always loved dealing with people. I love talking to people, and selling cars is what got me my start in life, where I am today, and I just love cars, so it just worked out perfect for me, what I'm saying? I love cars, I like talking to people. It was a win-win, and worked off clearly really well.
So blending in both lifestyles, and at the same time, you're also making money. You know what I mean? By doing
so who could complain about that? Yeah,
exactly.
Doing what you love, dealing with type of stuff that I'm passionate about, and making money.
And how do you feel about the Porsche Panamera, man? I mean, is this car? Can you see this being one of your future rides, or?
Before I bought the Lincoln right now, I was looking at Panameras. I've looked at Cayennes. I've always been a Porsche guy.
Okay.
I feel like it will be coming soon.
How do these actually drive?
They drive unbelievable, especially if you get the turbo one like this. This is,
So the turbo, this is what, 5-something horse?
550 or 560 horsepower, twin turbo V8, all-wheel drive, just badass.
Yeah, this is as far as on my bucket list, one of my favorite cars too. I think as far as the sedan, this car right here is probably one of the more sportier sedans out there when you talk about luxury and 4 people going somewhere.
Absolutely, it's the same thing. We'd look, there's screens in the back for the rears just for the AC. Don't get too much nicer. This or the AMG Benz would be my pick, and I'll have one of these hopefully sooner rather than later.
And typically, what type of person do you see coming in to buy a car like this? You mean, what type of customer, looks at something like this through your experience?
Dudes that I meet on the golf course.
Okay.
The same exact type of dudes. You could pinpoint them when they come to the dealership too. What they're wearing. Most of them are dressed like golfers, wearing the same stuff I wear. You know, and you can tell. And then of course they come out going on a test drive in this car, and you could pretty much point to a T what type of person they are and what kind of cars that certain people are looking at. But it's all the people that you meet on the golf course. Those are the guys that drive these things.
Now, have you noticed by having driving certain cars or being certain cars that people are trying to figure out what you do? They increase curiosity, you know what I mean?
Oh, the second I started driving nice cars, and I feel like people notice me on the streets, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get out to point, and it's the littlest thing where it's to even opening your door, if they see you in a nice car, they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, let me move my door this way or something. Yeah, it's because people are so stereotypical and so quick to judge out here. So they see you riding in a bucket, they're gonna think that, and if they see you riding in a nice whip, then it catches their attention. Obviously, they want to know what you're doing, Especially they see with me because I'm covered in tattoos. I got a neck tattoo.
Yeah, they're
so
like,
when they see
who
me
is
pull out
this
of my
guy?
ride, the only thing that they think of is that I'm an athlete or something. Although I've never been an athlete except when I was a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's funny, they have no clue either because just like we said, they judge off the cars alone.
Yeah, because I know in LA the big thing is valet. So nice restaurants, everybody people almost go out to see what you're going to get in.
Absolutely.
And be like, they're not really waiting for their car, but they want to, let's wait for this guy.
Yep.
To kind of check you out.
Yeah, it's funny to just watch them too. I like going to the valets too, just to watch them waiting to pull up so you can see the look on their faces too. It's funny because people, as it is, I get judged more than anyone where I look, covered in head to toe in tattoos and bigger than most people too. So people already judge as it is, let alone, but then when they see you pulling up in a nice whip, they're like, what the hell is this dude doing?
Well, it's like you said, it's crazy because you got this, your stereotypes. And then here you are, you're working in finance, you're dealing with, big numbers, on a daily basis, selling these packages. And, you go back 10, 15 years ago, you were in prison. It's like a total, dude, it's mind blowing, man, when you look at it. And we're sitting right now in a car. This is a 100, this brand new, this car is what, 150?
I think 159 MSRP.
Yeah, 159.
3 years old now, and it's still 95 Gs or something. With 30,000 miles.
Dude.
So you're not doing bad,
And visioning and feeling like you belong, I know that's one of the first steps of recognizing your reality, and you're a perfect example of that, of how you say, hey, this is me, and it becomes natural, and next thing you know, you're driving that which you
just like we talked about, you got to envision it. If I can't see myself driving this fucking car, then what am I doing? What am I doing anything in life for? I could see myself driving this car. I will have one of these cars, and that's how I look at anything in life. You got to envision what you're going to do, and then put in the work every day to make sure that your vision comes through.
So for somebody out there kind of stuck in the rut, and they're trying to say like, well, man, I would like to get a nice car too and do this and that, and they're trying to make excuses, man. What would you tell a person like that, man? Because between the both of us, man, we got over 22 years in the system, man, and we're not sitting around crying or sucking our thumbs. What would you tell somebody?
There's a ton of people too that aren't making great money, but they think they're stuck in that job. And I'm like, I don't care if you're 40, 45 years old. It's never too late to change up your job and change entire careers. Right. You didn't start until you were 40, right? I didn't start until I was 31 years old. So why wouldn't you be able to change? And if you're not making the money you're making, and you're not happy with your life, then why not make a fucking change? People do that, and they can be miserable with their jobs and miserable with their life, but they don't want to make a change, and then they keep doing the same thing year after year.
That's what gets me, man. It's like, well, I only got a couple more years. I'm like, a couple more years of what? What are you gonna do then? Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, stay in the house? It's like, dude, it doesn't make sense. Like, if you want to change something, change it right now. What are you waiting for? And it's like, to me, I'd never look at like, oh, when I get to say I'm retired. Retiring from what? Life is living, bro. Retiring is dying. Yeah. So as long as you got energy, you can get up and go. Get up and go.
Dude, if I had a job where I was retired, I would be doing twice as much more after retirement than I do right now.
Exactly.
Just like we talk about, I don't sit around and do nothing. I don't watch TV. I watched TV for 12 years. I learned all I can from the TV, and I'm good on TV.
Yeah, I feel you on that too. It's like that box, bro. I'm cool. I'd rather be out, like you said, networking, training, doing something right around your car. I know you talked about earlier how one of the greatest freedoms, and you talk about the same thing when you have your system, you let the windows down and just like you're cruising, man.
Dude, and it's the most free feeling in the world to me. I remember when I first got out of the joint after 12 years, all I wanted to listen to was that Tom Petty song, Free Fallin'.
Oh, yeah.
Because it just, anytime I was in prison, I would hear that song, I would just feel free, and I would cry almost every time I heard that song, and I did it on the way home, and that's what I still like to do. So that's how I treat myself too. So even if I work a 12, 13, 14-hour day at work, it's the shittiest, longest day, and I'm not happy. Second I get in my ride when I get home, and I'm like, damn.
What's that Chili Pepper song too?
God, I don't.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel this way.
Yeah, there you go with Pearl Jam.
Yeah. That song, when I used to hear that, I'm like, fuck, man. I picture myself driving down PCH or driving somewhere, hearing the exhaust, just
cruising,
you know what I
right?
mean, just cruising, man.
Not
Freedom.
a care in the world for the
Not
first time.
Not a care in the world, man.
Yep, because I'm used to, I know you are too, but I'm used to just having nothing but stress in my life, you know, and even in the 12 years of prison, when you're running yards, it is stressful. You know, you got to make snap on-call decisions every day, and it's like, dude, life out here is just peaceful when you can just sit back and...
Well, you're dealing with people who are really trying to live.
Mm-hmm.
You're not dealing with guys who are preying on each other.
Yep.
It's not a predator environment, you
Absolutely.
know what I mean? So it's like, here, it's like, why can't, you know how much easier it is for a guy who, if you were making those moves, why can't you be making them on the street?
Literally. The only reason you can't is because you don't want to. You don't want to put in the work. Because shit ain't easy. I mean, it wasn't easy to get to where I am today, but I did it, and if I can do it, anybody else can. You know, and just like I always say, if it shit's easy, it wouldn't mean the same. You know what I mean?
You're right.
If it was easy for me to go put in the work and do a little 8 to 5 hours and then 8 to 5 job and then I'd have my life right now, everybody would have that. But that's the reason that everybody doesn't have it. It's not that easy, you know?
Yeah. So Chappy, man, tell me a little bit about this office, man. You got some pretty cool stuff in here. I see you got some golf memorabilia on the walls. You have some Scotty Cameron look like golf club covers. You know, what's up with some of this stuff, man?
So all this Scotty Cameron stuff is my biggest collecting stuff. Those are all bag tags, and you got head covers. All the clothes I wear is all Scotty Cameron t-shirts and stuff, and then all these are head covers and stuff for different clubs. Got all the golf flags from all like the bucket list courses that I've been to, which by the time I'm done, we'll have a whole collection around the whole office, you know. Just something positive, you know, just like we always talk about, you got to get your mind into something different, you know, and I got free time and have money now, so why not collect something positive like that, you know?
And I know in an earlier conversation you said the Scotty Cameron stuff is kind of like the supreme of the golf world, man. What's up with that?
It's the rarest of the rare. So you got to be a member to even shop at Scotty Cameron website.
Wow.
Comes an annual fee, and then on top of that, they do releases like every Tuesday when there's big events, and they're roughly around 9 o'clock a.m. and you have to like hit refresh, and they're sold instantly.
Wow.
Everything is gone.
So it's just like the Jays. Once they drop, it's like, dude, they're gone. That's
just
it.
like that, like you could buy the collar t-shirts for $100, and you could buy them right afterwards for $200 because people resell them on eBay or something.
Damn. So,
It's
you know,
crazy.
people sleep, you know, talking about Supreme, they sleeping on Scotty Cameron.
Nobody knows. Yeah, it's literally the most rare, hard to get collectible stuff around, though. You know.
Scotty, man, we about to put you on a whole nother platform.
Yes, absolutely. We're gonna get everybody to hit the Scotty Cameron stuff.
That's dope, man. So is he actually like an avid golfer, or he's somebody that's just like does customized golf products, or?
Yeah, so just putters. That's his niche. You know, he's not even a golfer, never on the PGA Tour, but he makes putters. That's his niche, and they're all from the Titleist brand. But
Okay.
he has his own niche for all the putters and stuff, and then all the aftermarket stuff that I collect right here. But he's the man, and not even a golfer.
And then your brand, Sober, bro. I mean, I think that's pretty ingenious coming up with that name, the logo, and pushing that whole angle, man. Because you know, a lot of people need that right now, and for you to turn that around and extend that, I think it's a great thing, man.
I mean, that's exactly why I did it. You know, I want people to be proud of being sober instead of being embarrassed by it. You know, and at first when I got sober, I wouldn't say I was embarrassed by it, but I definitely didn't want to flaunt it around, you know. And then to get a little bit of time sober, now I'm like, I'm proud as fuck about it, you know. And if I wasn't sober, I wouldn't have any of this stuff in this office, you know. So I want more people to do that. And then on top of that, maybe somebody that's struggling could see me wearing a sober t-shirt and they don't know where to turn to, but since they see it, they might think to ask me a question or ask me about the shirt or something, you know. And my whole brand is, the rest of my life, you know, I want to just give back and help kids more than anything, you know. So I'm doing for my entire company, every single item sold, I'm going to donate $1 of all the proceeds that are going to go to helping kids in recovery. I haven't designated exactly which recovery center I'm going to use, but a piece of every single item sold is going to go to helping kids in recovery.
No, I think that's really dope because, like, you know, you go out with people and you want to have a good time. And like me personally, I don't drink, so people think you're weird because you don't drink. But why do you have to be weird because I don't drink and you drink? I always say you can drink. You know, I'm not tripping off you drinking. I'm cool. I'm dry. I'm not drinking tonight.
Absolutely, the same thing. You know, when I golf with buddies, 9 times out of 10, probably 3 of the 4 drinkers or golfers are drinking. I'm the one not drinking. Doesn't pay me no. I don't mind if they drink or not drink. I choose not to. So it doesn't bother me at all. You know, at first I would suggest to people that are like freshly getting sober, don't go hanging around in bars all the time. You know, but now I don't think about it. It's gone. I'm on some other stuff. I feel like all alcohol do is slow me down for what I'm trying to do in my life, anyways. Now, even if I wasn't addicted to it, you know.
So what are your big plans as far as here in the future? Like as far as stuff you have that you want to get involved in more, and some of the things you haven't visioned.
Yeah, so I'm doing this sober clothing brand. Kicking off the same time we're dropping my new channel. It's gonna be on the Fresh Out series, and just doing a bunch more speaking. I'm just now going back. I'm gonna be start speaking at parole. So all the inmates in the East Valley that when they get out of prison, they're gonna have to hear from me talk now too, which is crazy enough to think of too. I mean, especially a lot of COs, if they hear my name from in there, they're like, who the hell is this dude? He's talking to inmates,
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I mean, it just shows how much you can change your life, And so dropping that, I got that going off. Going back into parole. I'm actually on the waiting list right now to go back into jails, to start speaking at jails, and then hopefully sometime soon I can start working up a program with Sheriff Lamb out of Pinal County and work with a bunch of the youngsters out there too. I feel like if I had a chance to talk to somebody like myself before I went to prison, I might have listened, maybe not have, but there would have at least been a chance of me listening to.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth a shot. I say the same thing, if I would have maybe had that person say something, maybe it would have resonated, maybe not, but at least I would have heard it.
Absolutely, and so why not be positive? And that's what I want to do for the rest of my life now, and just give back and talk to kids more than anything, and I feel like I work with a ton of kids in recovery now, and there's people that can't get through to these kids at all, and when they're talking to them, I can't do this. And I'm like, when I tell them my story, they're like, you can see their eyes light up and they're like, holy shit, you did this and you're where now? Or you did this too? And I'm like, I did that 4 times, 4 times worse than you. And I'm where I am now. So, I mean, you can see their eyes light up. And once they see someone with as fucked up stories I have get to where I am, like, I feel like a lot of people can see that anything is possible, because it is. Anything is possible. The only person that limits you is yourself.
You're right. You're right about that. And the more that we talk about it, the more I just sit back and kind of like, when you think you're having a bad day, you just kind of think like, hold on, man. Did I just create that bad day?
Absolutely.
Did I just make this up? Or you just go home and do a reset. I tell like the wife, you feel you're stressed out, just turn around, go around the block, come home, park, reset.
And could it not always be worse? That's the biggest thing I feel like if people don't look at. They're so ungrateful out here, man. Like, they're mad at the world, and they're angry and envious of other people that have something that they don't have. They don't want to put it to work in to get it, and all they're doing is just jealous about it, and which does nothing for you, and it just makes you go along life just strumming, being miserable for no damn reason at all. When you can make the change, anybody can.
Well, I think, man, you're an inspiration to all the young people out there, older people out there who are struggling with with various addictions, people who are looking to change their life for positive. And, for us to be able to connect like this, man, and it's like family, man, the way you and your fiance opened up your house to me and Big Ann and came out here and did this. I think this, started big things to come, bro. So I really appreciate you becoming a part of Fresh Out team, us doing this documentary, seeing the day in the life of how Chappy lives, man. And it's been a blessing, bro.
It's a pleasure, man. We're going to change a lot of lives.
Hey, Big Herc 916, Fresh Out, Chappy, getting busy.